Oh, yeah. We're jumping into it today. Here we go.
Mayor Wu, in the city of Boston, how much did you spend?
We don't ask about immigration status and delivering city
You don't
services,
ask
so
about
we
how
don't
much
have
money
that
the city
number.
of Boston has spent on illegal immigration.
We
Are you
don't
out of your
distinguish
mind?
between immigration status.
Do you
as
manage
part
your
of our
budget
city
or not,
policies.
Mayor Wu?
That is how we keep
Mayor
our city
Wu,
safe.
do you manage
We
your
have
budget
the
or not?
numbers to prove it. I manage my budget. I have a AAA bond rating dating back 10 years.
So to the city of Boston,
budget.
just understand that your mayor does not care how much of your resources she has spent on people who are not citizens
The city of
the
Boston
city of
is
Boston.
sick of
I'm
having people
reclaiming my
outside
time.
Boston
Mr.
telling
Beer,
us.
Wow. The sheer blinders that are on to public opinion on this matter is stunning.
The people are sick of it.
I will say at least Mayor Adams from New York, right? I haven't seen the whole hearing, but I have heard him speak when he's talked about the policy shifts and the overwhelming number of illegals that came into New York City. At least he seemed to adopt a conciliatory tone. Okay, maybe I didn't do the best on this, right? Obviously, he's not going to go, I screwed up, but at least he seems to acknowledge that sanctuary policies are not the best option at this juncture.
Yeah. These
other people refuse, absolutely refuse. So
they don't care.
Yeah, they just don't seem to care at all. This individual shows up with ash on her forehead. What kind of gimmick is that, man?
It's, to be fair, it was Ash Wednesday.
But you don't wear it all day.
Okay.
Do you? I mean, I was Catholic when I was a kid. That's all I know. I don't see people walking around with it on their forehead all day, especially when you're going in front of Congress.
Fair point.
I mean, just anyway. That said, so Congress called a hearing and demanded that the mayors of various sanctuary cities, including Boston, New York,
Chicago, and
was it LA? It wasn't LA. Somewhere else, possibly. We'll find out more. But
Denver.
That's okay. So these are kind of four of the most notorious. I mean, California is California. LA kind of fits in with California, but these other cities are in otherwise fairly, at least purple areas.
Oh, they're mostly they're heavily Democrat.
The cities themselves, yeah. The cities themselves are very, very blue, right? But like the state of New York, in upstate, they're Republicans, dude.
True.
Same thing with Illinois, right? Illinois, for example, we've talked about these counties that want to join Indiana. Most of Illinois, I won't say most. Illinois itself is very similar to Indiana, with the exception of Chicago. That's just how.
Yeah, you go down state, it looks a lot like Indiana.
It does. I mean, it's almost virtually indistinguishable in places. Yeah. So it's not like there are hammers and sickles, showing you're entering contested territory when you leave Indiana. It looks the same.
It does.
But Chicago, man, Chicago is responsible for a lot of the crime in Northwest Indiana. People who either come to Indiana fleeing the police in Chicago, constantly 80, 94 accidents from that, arrests from that, etc. But anyway.
And I worked at a retail, and we see a lot of people coming from Chicago stealing. That's a problem.
Oh, yeah, that's actually a really good point. And they learn quickly that it's a different story here, don't they?
They do.
Yeah, I'm sure they do. I'm sure they learn real quick, but I'm supposed to just get away with it. Yeah, you're in another state, dipshit. It doesn't work that way here. So they had this hearing, and the justifications that we heard from these so-called mayors as to why things were the way they were with the sanctuary policies are it's an emotional response. It's designed to tug at your heartstrings. These are people, right? The whole argument for illegal immigration is these aren't criminals. These are people who just wanted a better life. And we could talk all day about how I'm sure some do, and I'm sure the majority of them are good, which is fact. The majority of all people are good. Otherwise, we'd live in uncontrolled chaos. But
we can't have the whole world. We do not have the resources to care for every single person in the entire world.
Exactly. Look at the EU and various countries in the EU who have been destroyed by unchecked open borders.
Yeah, we can't have open.
We can't have that. No. We cannot have that here. And the American people voted overwhelmingly in agreement with us that that's not okay. So this is a very interesting hearing. It is almost 6 hours long.
And I
Excuse me, 5 hours, 17 minutes.
And I got down to an hour.
Yeah. Sean got us an hour of timestamps out of an over 5 hour hearing. So very well done. I wanted to show you that real quick because that's the type of adversarial attitude that these congressmen are dealing with many of these so-called mayors. All right, we're going to jump in. Our first clip is from Representative Comer.
The chair. He's the chairman of the House Oversight.
Okay. Chairman of the House Oversight Committee. Go ahead.
He's from Kentucky.
Kentucky. Okay. And this kind of just sets the stage. So let's get comfy here. And here we go.
Good morning and welcome to today's full committee hearing on sanctuary cities with the mayors of 4 American cities.
You can tell he's from Kentucky. Good morning.
Yep, he's from Kentucky.
I got a problem with saying fur instead of four, right? My wife just yelled at me the other day because I'm originally from Louisiana. And when I came up here, I had a very thick Southern accent. And that's like one of the holdovers is I just say fur instead of four. It's one of those things, but you can hear it in his voice. You could tell he's from the South.
He's from on sanctuary cities with the mayors of 4 American cities: Boston, New York, Chicago, and Denver. Over the past 4 years, the Biden administration created the worst border crisis in American history. The Democrats said that President Biden did not have the power or the money to stop the flow of illegal aliens at the southwest border.
President.
Turns out the only thing President Biden did not have was the willpower.
That's true.
In a few short weeks, President Trump has proved what we all know to be true. The Biden administration could have stopped the crisis at any moment.
Yep.
If only they had the courage to enforce the law. Since President Trump assumed office, illegal entries at the southwest border have plummeted. A 94% drop in 1 month.
94% drop in 1 month. Dude, that's insane. That has to be unprecedented. That has to be some kind of record.
I bet it probably is.
I mean,
I don't know.
94%. Dude, that's, you go from 100 crossings, 100,000, whatever, 100, right?
Down to 6.
To 6. That's a crazy, crazy reduction.
A 94% drop in 1 month. 94%. Under President Trump, the world knows that there are consequences for unlawful entry into the United States. The border crisis was not the result of climate change, a lack of resources, or a failure to grant amnesty. It was the result of the last administration's deliberate choice. President Biden enacted policies starting on the day he assumed office to allow millions of unvetted illegal aliens to pour into the United States. Many of these illegal aliens have long rap sheets that include violent crimes. President Trump has an electoral mandate from the American people to deliver on his promises to secure the border and enforce the immigration laws of the United States. And he is delivering on this promise big time. The mayors here today each lead so-called sanctuary cities. And let's be clear, these policies only create sanctuary for criminals. Sanctuary policies violate federal immigration law by protecting criminal aliens at the expense of the American people. Sanctuary cities and states refuse to cooperate with federal immigration enforcement efforts and harbor illegal aliens.
And that's the reality. We're sold this thing, right? When they initially started talking about sanctuary cities and doing them, it was, well, so the people of that community, illegals, right, can feel safe reporting crimes against them to the police. Why are you here in the first place? But aside from that, look, there are going to be illegals. And at the same time, the illegals are the ones preying on, in many cases, our legal citizens, including the people from Central and South America and Mexico, especially. The violent gangs, the illegal violent gangs, target the members of those communities because they know they don't trust banks. They know that, they're not going to go to the police because they're afraid for their immigration status. They become targets. These policies are killing Americans. It's that simple.
And it's also empowering the cartels.
Yeah.
Cartels were making a buttload of money.
Bank. Absolutely. All right, we're going to jump to Representative Connolly, which is 451.
The Democrat side.
No goody. No, that's what we're here for. So 451
He's the ranking member
is Representative Connolly, the ranking member from Virginia. All right, about 2 minutes.
Member Conley for his opening statement.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Every member here today, Democrats and Republicans alike, agrees that violent criminals don't belong in our communities. We all want our cities to be safe.
I don't think that Democrats agree that. That's the problem. That if that was the case, we wouldn't be having these problems because these DAs are letting them off with a slap on the wrist or nothing at all.
Exactly.
But you can't be trusted. Don't believe your lying eyes. Believe what I'm telling you. The person who got millions off of your money. Believe me.
Have zero tolerance for violent crime, irrespective of the status of the perpetrator.
Right.
Where we disagree is that my Republican colleagues prefer a selective application of the law to shield the President of the United States from accountability and this administration from the rule of law itself. In America, we uphold the rule of law, independent from partisan politics, without fear or favor.
Again, not true, homie. No. It's just simply not true.
Betraying those convictions, President Trump's Department of Justice has tried to force the conditional dismissal of very serious charges against one of our witnesses here today, in exchange for that witness's total and complete submission to the radical immigration agenda being propounded by the administration. And the DOJ has done so over the objections of a Republican acting U.S. attorney who President Trump appointed. Rather than enabling a flagrant corrupt quid pro quo, 7 federal prosecutors, 7, including Republicans, resigned. One of them, a former clerk to Chief Justice John Roberts of the Supreme Court, said that anyone in his position, quote, would know that our laws and traditions do not allow using the prosecutorial power to influence other citizens, much less elected officials, in this way. History is calling on us now to stand up for those laws and traditions. Doing so also demands an affirmation of state and local sovereignty in determining the most effective ways to keep residents safe in compliance with federal law. To deny this sovereignty is an assault on the independence of every American city across the country.
Okay, 2 things. Number 1, it's interesting how when it comes to the power of the federal government versus the power of states and cities, the Democrats are all about states and cities being independent when it comes to sanctuary cities. However, when it comes to your Second Amendment, the one thing codified in the Constitution is they don't give a damn, right? Shall not be infringed. They don't give a damn about that. I used to try so hard to see things from their point of view. You guys can watch back the several years of videos that I've done. Am I always right? Absolutely not. Do I sometimes get kind of biased? Absolutely. But in general, I try really hard to see things from the other side. But I have watched the last several years, hell, more than that, in abject fucking horror at what these people have done to this country. Abject horror. And it's perfectly okay for these people to push their federal bullshit with LGBT, LMNOP, and sanctuary cities, and Second Amendment infringements, and all this other bullshit, right? But when it comes to sanctuary cities, the federal government needs to stay out of it. Nope. That's what they claim. I forgot what the other thing was. I got so mad. All right. Okay, our next clip is the 1255 to 1624, which is where their
introduction and the swearing in.
Very good. Let's see. When there's like 5 hours plus, like just moving the cursor a tiny little bit makes it move a lot. So, all right. Who's this?
They were killed by illegals. There'll be time for that.
They'll be mentioned. Yeah. But I mean, another prime example of how American citizens are paying.
If I remember right, he was killed by the illegal.
Fair enough. All right, give me just one moment.
Thank you, Mr. Higgins. I'm very pleased today to welcome our outstanding witness panel, the mayors of 4 major American cities. First, we have Mayor Eric Adams, who's an outstanding mayor of New York City. He was sworn into office on January 1st, 2022. We have Mayor Mike Johnson, who's the mayor of the city and county of Denver. He was sworn into office on July 17th, 2023. I now recognize Representative Krista Morte from Illinois for 1 minute to introduce our next witness.
Mr. Chair, I'm pleased to introduce Brandon Johnson, mayor of the greatest city in the world, namely Chicago, a city that was built by generations of immigrants, people like my parents and myself.
It could be a great city.
Mayor Johnson was raised in Elgin, Illinois, which I'm proud to represent in Congress. The mayor was one of 10 children born to Andrew and Wilma Jean Johnson. His parents inspired him to become a teacher in the Chicago Public Schools and then later to run for office. Mayor Johnson won his first race for Cook County Commissioner in 2018 and later became mayor of Chicago in 2023. Mayor Johnson has dedicated his life to public service, and I'm pleased to welcome my fellow Illinoisan to the United States House of Representatives and to the Oversight Committee. Welcome, Mayor.
I now recognize Representative Presley from Massachusetts for 1 minute to introduce our next witness.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'm proud to introduce Mayor Michelle Wu, a dedicated leader committed to making Boston a welcoming home for everyone, and the first woman and person of color to be elected mayor of the city of Boston. For over a decade, I've had the privilege of working alongside Mayor Wu and witnessing her dedication to public service firsthand. She leads with compassion, she is innovative and inclusive. Under her leadership, Boston has become the safest major city in America, a city that is welcoming to families from all walks of life. Just weeks ago, she welcomed her newest family member, baby Mira, who is with us today.
You'll hear that multiple times.
Okay, let's just move on.
A beautiful reminder of the future she's working to build. Madam Mayor, I'm grateful for your partnership, friendship, and leadership. Thank you for being here.
I want to polish. Oh my God, dude. I want a rag to polish the top of her head so that I can't help. I look, man, I'm bald too, right? I get it. But oh my God, really?
And Boston's an awesome city too. So much potential. Sad. Have you been to Boston?
Beautiful, dude. Yeah, I've been to every major city in the United States. Yeah. But I will say it's different going in with a semi through a place than it is driving through
Boston in a semi.
Oh my God,
the East Coast are so thin.
Oh my God, yeah, it's nuts trying to do anything on the East Coast in a truck, dude. I hated East Coast routes. Oh my God.
And finally, we're also joined by Mr. David Beer, who is the Director of Immigration Studies at the Cato Institute. Mr. Beer is the minority witness here today. I want to thank you all again for joining us, and I look forward to our discussion this afternoon. Pursuant to Committee Rule 9G, the witnesses will please stand and raise their right hand.
Okay.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you are about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Let the record show that the witnesses answered in the affirmative. Thank you all. You may take a seat.
I will say this before we go on. I really, until we start seeing people be held accountable for lying to Congress, why are we bothering to even swear people in?
Fair point.
I mean, look at Fauci.
And appreciate you being here
That's a
today and
fair
look
point.
forward to
I
your
mean,
testimony. Let me remind the witnesses that we have read your written statement and they will appear in full in the hearing record. Please limit your oral statement to 5 minutes, and we're going to limit our questions to 5 minutes, and that's going to be enforced today, and that's for both sides. As a reminder, please press the button on the microphone in front of you so that it is on and the members can hear you. When you begin to speak, the light in front of you will turn green. After 4 minutes, the light will turn yellow. When the red light comes on, your 5 minutes have expired, and we would ask that you please wrap up.
Okay. We're going to go right into.
And one more thing.
Yeah.
I edited it out and stuff, but there's 80 congressmen who's had time done this, so that's why it was 5 hours.
Wow, that's a lot. Yeah. So a lot of people took their chance to say what they wanted to say or ask what they wanted to ask. Let's put it that way. All right. This is huge, guys. This is Forbes.
Yep.
It's called Must Watch Sparks Fly as Lawmakers Grill Sanctuary City Mayors in Contentious Hearing. If you want to go watch the whole thing, I urge you to, if you have, over 5 hours that you can dedicate. Otherwise, thankfully, Sean has compacted it to an hour and gets, I would say, the vast majority of the salient points that are covered in this. All right, here we go. We're going to go right into Mayor Adams of New York. And one thing I want to say, maybe he brings it up, but just briefly, that's what it was. The Democrat guy who was yelling Connolly when he was talking about the Justice Department and people resigning over the manipulation of witnesses and all this stuff. He's talking about Adams. He's talking about Mayor Adams was charged under the Biden Department of Justice. I don't care who appointed who. Like we've seen, people appointed by Trump can be pieces of garbage. People appointed by Biden can be great human beings. I suppose it could happen in an alternate universe. I don't know for sure, but they tell me there's evidence of that. I don't know. However, Adams and a number of other people say that the initial charges were politically driven. Period. End of story. And it's odd because these charges only appeared once he started talking about the volume of illegals that were showing up in New York. And when we can't handle this, and he says the Biden administration contacted him and told him to shut up.
And he would not.
And he wouldn't. So we've seen what they're capable of. That's all I'm going to say.
Now recognize Mayor Adams for his opening statement.
All right.
Good morning, Chairman Comer, Ranking Member Connolly, and members of the committee. As mayor of New York City and a former police officer for 22 years, keeping New Yorkers safe is my top priority, and it has been our administration's North Star. When I entered this role, my job was to help our city recover from the negative effects of COVID. Most importantly, to bring down crime. As a result, overall crime was down across New York City last year, and we have now had 3 straight months of double-digit declines in major crimes. I'm here today to testify on how New York City can continue to reduce crime, even as a sanctuary city. To be clear, a sanctuary city classification does not mean our city will ever be a safe haven for violent criminals. It also does not give New York City the authority to violate federal immigration laws. To the contrary, New York City will always comply with city, state, and federal laws as it does now. Law-abiding immigrants in New York have an important role. Immigrant New Yorkers, including those who are undocumented, pay billions of dollars in taxes and contribute billions more in spending power to our economy. Immigrants also play a vital role in the functioning of the city. This was on full display during the COVID-19 pandemic. The various immigrant residents of our city worked to keep the city moving, while many other New Yorkers were able to shelter in place and work remotely. Hospitals, the food industry, and many other businesses were able to function because of the commitment of our immigrant population.
Okay. We're gonna move ahead to Mike Johnston, and unfortunately, that's the talking points, right? It doesn't have any effect on, and they contribute to the economy. And okay, I will even give you that perhaps they do contribute to the economy, both in tax revenue and sales taxes, and this and that. Of course,
Okay,
right?
sales taxes,
Of
yeah.
course, in various tax ways. However, they are also a drain on many, 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 many other systems. The safety net that's supposed to be for citizens that are down on their luck are not intended for people to come to this country for a freaking handout. Anyway, all right, we're going to jump to Mike Johnston, 2137 to 2403. What's that?
The mayor of Denver.
Mayor of Denver, Colorado, which I'm going to tell you, man, Denver is a beautiful city.
I've never been there.
It's a good, Colorado is just a gorgeous state. I mean, with the mountains in the background and snow on top of it. Oh my God, it's beautiful. They've destroyed that city, man. Liberals have destroyed Denver. It is awful now. Absolutely awful.
Thank you.
Thank you. I now recognize Denver Mayor Johnston for his opening statement.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman, and thank you for inviting me to testify today. This committee convened this hearing on the critical topic of immigration. I want to tell you Denver's story.
You know what he reminds me of? Well, that's a great pause picture. He looks like David Hogg's like uncle.
I guess, yeah, he kind of does.
He kind of resembles him a little bit, is it just me, or do so many of these liberal men look the same? Like they're almost like obviously you got, your standard soy boy, and then you got your hipster, and then but the ones that dress up and try to look, presentable, so many of them have this weird similarity in the face. It's bizarre. Look at, whatever. Anyway.
I became mayor 20 months ago. Denver was already receiving buses of immigrants with little to no notice or coordination. At one point, we were receiving 10 to 11 buses a day, dropping off as many as 300 people, mostly women and children, in 10-degree weather with only sandals and a T-shirt, leaving them in danger of freezing to death on our streets. All told, 42,000 people arrived in Denver over 18 months, the largest per capita influx of any city in America. We are each entitled to our own opinion about what should happen at the border, but that was not the question facing Denver. The question Denver faced was, what will you do with a mom and 2 kids dropped on the streets of our city with no warm clothes, no food, and no place to stay?
Crimea River, dude.
As mayor, I have to protect the health and safety of everyone in our city.
No, you don't. You have to protect the health and safety of the citizens of your city. Visitors, legal visitors, United States citizens, or people from another country that are here legally. Your core duties are to defend and protect the constitutions of your state, or your city, your state, and your country.
As a man of faith, I have a moral obligation to care for those in need. As Scripture says, for I was hungry, and you gave me something to eat. I was thirsty, you gave me something to drink.
And he's going to go into all of that. And I've heard the arguments many times that Jesus would just let illegals take over the country. No, he wouldn't. We can disagree about faith all we want, but I'm tired of these people couching this shit in religious doctrine.
I was a stranger, and you invited me in. So that's what we did. In Denver, we believe our problems are solvable and we are the ones to solve them.
Man, how'd
So
that
we went
work
to
out for
work.
you?
When we started, we had the largest encampment in Denver history with more than 200 migrant families living in freezing temperatures. So we opened 8 different city shelters housing 5,000 people. City employees volunteered to take extra shifts and Denver residents stepped up, making meals, donating clothes, furniture, school supplies. Some even welcomed families into their own homes. We helped 8,700 eligible individuals apply for work authorization so they could put food on their own table, pay their own rent, and reduce the strain on public resources.
Okay.
As a result, a year later, there is not a single migrant encampment left in the city. We have closed all of our shelters. We have connected people to jobs and housing, and the city's immigrant support budget has dropped by nearly 90%.
The city's immigrant support budget has dropped by 90%. Those are very key phrases. Immigrant support budget, immigrant, not illegal, immigrant support budget has dropped by 90%. So whatever it is now is a fraction of what it was. People of Denver, you paid for that shit.
And
Your tax dollars.
They're
Go ahead.
taking jobs from Americans. Then, too.
Exactly.
See, that's
Exactly. I don't know
different.
about you, but the jobs here fucking suck. They're terrible.
Uh-huh.
Unless you have a skilled trade. The jobs around here are all service-based. They're all like, meh. And that's just the way it is. It's nothing against the businesses. They're going to do what they can. But there's a limited number of jobs.
Yeah. Here, it's basically the casino or the jail.
Yeah. Yeah. Those are the two basic decent jobs around here. And, you know, how long is the prison going to be here?
Good point.
And in the midst of this, migrants did not bring a wave of crime to Denver. In fact, crime went down. Homicides.
They always claims that. They always
yeah.
claim that, which I don't know if they mentioned it during the hearing, but if you guys paid any attention towards the end of the Biden cluster F that it was, things were coming out that these places aren't even reporting crimes properly. They're not reporting to the FBI. They're not reporting. They're reporting like this major crime as a tiny little property crime. They're lying. They're lying. And the wild part is apparently it's not required to report these to the FBI, but it's strongly encouraged. And
I'm pretty sure that they don't want those reports to be reported so that they can say their talking points that crime did not go up.
Crime went down. Crime went down. All these illegals are good people as they're carrying guns in these apartment complexes and kicking in doors.
Dropped 17%. Shooting victims.
I tell you what, you try that
24%.
shit here in Indiana, anywhere other than Indianapolis, your ass is not going to take over that apartment complex.
Gary,
Ain't gonna happen. I'm
They
just
probably be successful in Gary.
yeah, I'm just saying. I don't know if you guys see that, but yeah, that's how it's Indiana, man. I mean, back it up a little bit.
And in the midst of this, migrants did not bring a wave of crime to Denver. In fact, crime went down. Homicides dropped 17%. Shooting victims dropped 24%. Auto theft down 29%.
They always make these
They do.
wild claims, right? Okay. We're going to hop ahead here a little bit. We're going to go to Brandon Johnston. This freaking guy, man.
Worst mayor.
Oh my God. I genuinely believed that it couldn't get worse than Beetlejuice.
Beetlejuice.
Lori Lightfoot, Beetlejuice.
She was terrible.
Oh my God. Which, speaking of, if you have somebody like that telling you're a bad mayor, bruh. And that was the case in Dalton, which is a whole other story and a little bit of, but
yeah.
Oh, talk about a landslide. Anyway, we're going to go to Brandon Johnston, which is 2641 to, what are we going to? 2641 to 2955. This should be rich. Here we go. This guy is a clown. Yeah. I mean, full shoes, nose, big old fluffy hair, full on clown.
Thank you. And I recognize Chicago Mayor Johnson.
Thank you.
Oh my God.
Thank you, Chairman Comer. Thank you to the ranking member Connolly and to members of this committee. I have the great privilege and honor of serving as mayor of the city of Chicago, the third largest city in the nation. Established by a Black Haitian man and a Potawatomi woman, Chicago is and always has been a proud city of immigrants. Generations of new arrivals, including the
Legal
descendants of
immigrants.
the enslaved during the Great Migration, created a vibrant city where one
Great migration from where to where? What is he
Imagine-
talking? Hold on. I'm going to back it up because I'm not trying to make fun of him. I genuinely don't know what he's talking about. Hold on. He's not talking about the Trail of Tears.
I hope not.
during the
That
Great
didn't-
Migration
Hold on.
arrivals always has
Hold on.
been a proud city of immigrants.
Yeah.
Generations of new arrivals, including the descendants of the enslaved during the Great Migration,
Great migration. Wait. No, hold on. Maybe he's talking about like the Civil War and like the migration from the South. I genuinely don't know, guys. So like,
I'm
don't.
not sure what he's talking about.
Yeah, I don't either. Maybe I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt and say maybe that's what he's talking about,
That might be
because that could be. I know that like at post Civil War, the freed slaves did travel. Like, I don't want to get the fuck out of there. I get it, man. See ya. I'm out. Right. Plus, it's hot. It's hot down there. Woo, it's a whole new level of heat.
created a vibrant city where 1 in 5 residents is foreign born. Each day I wake up to serve every one of Chicago's 77 unique neighborhoods and those who live in our great city. As mayor of Chicago, nothing is more important to me than the safety and well-being of all residents.
Bullshit.
Yeah.
And since I was
Yeah.
elected, my administration has been laser focused on creating and implementing public safety initiatives that protect all Chicagoans.
Yeah, that's why the people who elected you have turned out in record numbers to call you a liar to your face, to call you some not so nice words to your face. The very people who champion getting you elected, I might add, specifically South Side Chicago people, are done with him, man, because he was giving all their money to the illegals.
Uh-huh.
Like, dude.
We launched the People's Plan for Community Safety, which builds trust between communities and law enforcement by prioritizing transparency and violence intervention. We established a dedicated robbery task force that reduced robberies by 25% citywide.
You're full of shit. I don't know. There ain't a task force on the planet that's going to reduce the crime in Chicago by 25% since he's been mayor. Ain't no damn way. And I'm here to tell you that I don't give a crap what claims you have. I live by Chicago, and I know damn good and well it's still a shithole.
We added over 200 detectives, increasing the clearance rates on our cases. And we've updated police equipment and technology so that our police officers have the tools they need to effectively prevent and fight crime.
So that's all they needed. They just needed more tools. That's what kind of tools are they? Are they multi-tools? They must be, because it's doing all kinds of multiple functions. You're so full of shit, dude.
Our efforts to improve public safety by building trust with and investing in our communities are working.
Yeah.
Violent crime is down in Chicago.
Here we go again.
The city ended 2024 with its lowest homicide rate in 5 years.
Bullshit.
The city is also safer.
And I'd like to add, okay, let's say that's true. Maybe it is down by 0.7%. Maybe, a little gang war didn't happen until the following year. But the last 5 years, who's been in charge? This dipshit and Beetlejuice.
Because of our welcoming city ordinance. That law makes sure that the city's police resources are focused on our local priorities. In fact, the 40 years of Chicago's leaders have recognized that our policies toward civil immigration matters help to prevent and solve crimes. Put simply, any actions that amplify fears of deportations make Chicago more dangerous. Those fears cause witnesses and victims to avoid cooperating with police. The cooperation of all people, regardless of their immigration status, is essential to achieving the city's goals of reducing crime and pursuing justice for victims. When there is trust between city's residents and the police, undocumented immigrants come forward to report crimes to local law enforcement and provide information that helps the police solve those crimes. And now, I know there are myths about these laws, but we must not let mischaracterizations and fear-mongering obscure the reality that Chicago's crime rates are trending down. We still have a long way to go, but sensationalizing tragedy in the name of political expediency is not governing, it's grandstanding.
Okay. Okay.
All right. And that's
Oh boy, the next one. All right.
Boston.
Yeah. So, real quick, and I'm gonna leave the Chicago thing alone, at least for now. Guys, I used to love going to Chicago.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, it was so fun. Like, you go to Millennium Park, look at the Bean, you do like all the stuff in Chicago. Go to the shops, go to the museum, go to this, go to that. I don't even go to Illinois anymore, much less Chicago. Hell no. If I can't find it in perfect example. So with all the stuff going on with Doge and all that stuff, right? And these crazy sumbitches setting fire to Tesla dealerships, I decided, you know what? Let me go check out a Tesla, because I never really gave it a fair shake, and we do got the charging station right here in Michigan City, right up by Meyer.
Oh, yeah, we do.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
You don't think about it, right? If you're not in a EV, but right there at Meyer, there's a nice row of the superchargers. I was like, okay, all right, you know what? Let's go check out. All right, where's a I could have sworn there was a dealership in Schererville. No. The only dealerships in this area are in Illinois, all by Chicago. And then there are like a couple in Indianapolis. Nope. So I can either go into Commie Land or I can drive 3 hours. I don't like either one of those, honestly. I maybe there's something in Michigan, possibly. I don't know. I might go to Michigan, but I'm not going to Illinois, dude. Not even to look at a Tesla. Refuse. Their laws are ridiculous.
Every violent crime is
Yeah. Cry me some more. All right. So here's the thing about that I want to say really briefly about this whole sanctuary city thing, right? The initial idea behind the sanctuary city policies, movement, call it whatever the hell you want, was that the cops are not automatically going to call immigration on you. If you're here illegally, you can cooperate with the police without immediately being deported. You don't have to worry about that. I don't necessarily disagree with that.
No.
The local police, it's not their job to enforce immigration policies, as I said. And so Republicans were like, okay, conservatives, I should say, real conservatives were like, okay, I see what you're saying. How can we keep it from being abused? Well, they still have to comply with federal law, which means when ICE demands, then we respond. Okay, that doesn't sound too bad. That's not what's happening. They are refusing to cooperate with ICE. They are releasing people from detention to go wander the streets before ICE ever shows up, and they disappear. They're breaking the law. It's just that simple. All right, we're gonna bump ahead to 3129, and we got
Michelle Wu.
This chick's a trip, dude. She is a trip.
Recognize Boston Mayor Wu for her opening statement.
Thank you. Chairman Comer, Ranking Member Connolly, and members of the committee, my name is Michelle Wu. I am the daughter of immigrants, and since November of 2021, I have had the honor of serving as mayor of Boston.
I'm going to tell you, these places have got to stop their DEI mayor elections, man, because these people are just destroying these once amazing bastions of American exceptionalism.
I'm proud to be here on behalf of our city, the police officers, first responders, city workers, the faith leaders, teachers, parents, and neighbors who partner every day to make Boston the safest major city in the nation. And I'm proud every day to work alongside the greatest police commissioner in the nation, Commissioner Michael Cox. Every year since I took office, we've set a new record low for gun violence in Boston. Last year, Boston saw the fewest homicides on record in the last 70 years. Those are the facts. And behind these record lows are historic highs. The most ever young people working paid summer jobs, the most pre-K seats at no cost to families, the most affordable housing built in a generation.
I always love that. At no cost to families. You mean no additional cost? And technically, even that's not accurate because your taxes had to go up to pay for the illegals. So
we have invested in the kinds of opportunities that cultivate prosperity and eradicate crime.
Right.
And the laws on our books promote the kind of community trust that keeps all of us safe. In Boston, our police department resources and taxpayer dollars go towards preventing and solving crimes. And when it comes to criminal matters, the Boston police partner every day with state and federal law enforcement. But Massachusetts state law and the Boston Trust Act make clear that immigration is federal law enforcement's responsibility. We are the safest major city in the country because our gun laws are the strongest in the nation, because our officers have built relationships over decades, and because all of our residents can trust that when they call 911 in the event of an emergency or to report a crime, help will come. This federal administration's approach is undermining that trust. In the past month, I've met with residents and faith leaders in community centers and places of worship, asking my constituents what they want Congress to know. And what I heard over and over again was fear and frustration.
So they wanted Congress to know fear and frustration. I believe that.
I spoke with pastors whose pews are half empty on Sundays, doctors whose patients are missing appointments, teachers whose students aren't coming to class, neighbors afraid to report crimes in their communities, and victims of violence who won't call the police. This federal administration is making hardworking, tax-paying, God-fearing residents afraid.
Residents, not citizens. Residents.
Yeah, she said residents.
Just saying, our government is not here for them. They are here for me, for you, because we're the ones who built and paid for this shit, not these people. I love immigration, dude. All of us came from somewhere. Legal.
Live their lives. A city that's scared is not a city that's safe. A land.
But I thought you said you were
ruled by fear is not the land of the free. Next month, Boston will celebrate 250 years of our nation's freedom. And in every one of those years, Boston has welcomed the world to our shores.
Okay. I'm not sure how much of this I can stomach. No, look, it's ridiculous. All right. 3655.
He's from the Cato Institute.
From the Cato Institute. This should be interesting. David Beer, B-I-E-R. Here we go.
The Cato Institute's half-century of independent research demonstrates that people of all races, religions, and birthplaces can thrive in a free society.
Agree.
Liberty must be protected, both from over-intrusive government and from private violence.
Okay.
Unfortunately, the president's chaotic, indiscriminate deportation plan does the opposite. It harms public safety, threatens Americans' rights, and undermines the successful integration of America's immigrants into its society and economy. The president's first action was to rescind the requirement that ICE target public safety threats first. He has ordered that millions of vetted immigrants be stripped of lawful status and deported.
What?
I don't know what he's talking about.
He is even attempting to
don't
deport
believe that he
the
did that.
U.S.-born children of people without permanent status.
Yes, They're called illegals. Just, shorten it up. And
it's only gone after those who are the criminals so far, like actually done violent criminals.
Right.
I haven't heard of anybody.
so here's the funny thing, right? Have people been deported whose only crime was crossing illegally? I'm sure they have been. But as Tom Homan said, our focus are the violent criminals. If they happen to be hanging out with other illegals, we're not just going to let them go. They're here illegally. Hello? Something that should have been happening all along.
This flagrantly unconstitutional act effectively orders a series of crimes, wrongful arrest and imprisonment, civil rights violations, and unlawful deprivation of voting rights. Never before in American history.
He just said.
He just said what I thought he said, right? Okay, so I just wanted to make sure. Yes, in case you guys missed it, he's talking about voting rights for illegals because that's always been the plan.
Has a president sought the power to strip potentially tens of millions of Americans of their constitutional rights? The president is also.
You guys don't give a shit about constitutional rights, not even a little bit, because I don't see nobody from the Cato Institute standing up to talk about the infringements against the Second Amendment. So sit down, shut up. This guy looks like a Delbert to me. What do you think? Just the whole, he's very Delbert or Leonard. He gives that kind of a vibe.
Okay.
I'm just saying. You guys may or may not know what I'm talking about. I had a friend named Delbert, and he radiated this energy.
Explicitly asserting the authority to ignore any law passed by you, Congress, that provides due process for people accused of being in the country illegally. The administration has repeatedly misled you and the public about who it is targeting.
Okay.
Stating it would focus on public safety threats, that only the worst of the worst would be sent to Guantanamo Bay, and that every person it had arrested had a criminal record. We now know that most ICE arrests since the inauguration have been of people without a criminal record. Indeed, he is arresting people who entered legally, never violated any law, and sending them to Guantanamo Bay prison. It is no surprise in this lawless environment that many people in many cities simply do not trust the federal government on immigration. That is a problem. But under our Constitution, states determine their policies. Congress cannot force them.
That's not accurate.
That's not even remotely accurate. If that was the case, then no gun laws would apply. Like from the federal level. Even if you focus that okay, he just misspoke. He's just talking about immigration. Also, not true.
The Supreme Court has ruled that the federal government is in charge of immigration policy.
Right. And can enforce it as such.
He doesn't know what he's talking
does.
about.
Yeah, this guy has no clue what he's talking about. He's
lying.
What's that?
Or he's lying.
Well, that's what I was going to say. I was willing to kind of go along with a little bit of what he was saying. Like maybe he's saying things that I'm not aware of, but that are accurate. But this I know is bullshit, which calls into question all the other garbage he was saying.
Must reestablish trust. Unfortunately, some members of Congress want to force an indiscriminate policy of mass deportation on the entire country with no public safety focus. If Congress wants more cooperation, it should address the concerns of these cities.
We don't care about the concerns of these cities. We care about the concerns of the American citizens in those cities. And they overwhelmingly across the nation said, we don't feel safe. We need a new president. We need new Congress, new House. Dude, it was a Republican landslide, top to bottom. There were like a handful that didn't win. There was like one in LaPorte County that didn't win. Everybody else, like it was a sweep. What do you call it? Mandate?
What Congress
had a mandate.
should do?
Mandate. Yep, it was a mandate. All right, hold on.
That what Congress should do is reestablish trust.
Yeah, I don't think you know what you're talking about. We're going to jump ahead to Representative Comer, 4212. I don't know why I went so far. Well, no. All right.
Witnesses, I'll recognize myself to begin questions for 5 minutes, and I have limited time, so I want to start with a simple yes or no question, and I'm going to hold you all to that because after the first question, then we'll allow for a little more time. But Mayor Johnston, in 2017, Denver prohibited city officials, including corrections officers, from assisting and cooperating with any investigation, detention, or arrest procedures related to federal immigration laws. The city also stated that federal immigration authorities shall not be granted access or allowed to use the secure areas of any city or county jail. Mayor Johnson, is Denver a sanctuary city?
A lot of folks use that term.
Yes or no?
Sorry, Mr. Chairman. Folks use that term differently. I can tell you what Denver does. We do not.
Okay, I take that as a yes. Mayor
Right?
Johnson, no, yes or no? I take that as a yes. Mayor Johnson, on March 10th, 2023, you posted on X that Chicago must lead and live by the promise to be a sanctuary city. Is Chicago a sanctuary city?
A 40-year policy of being a welcoming city.
Yes.
A 40-year policy of a welcoming
yes.
city.
Mayor
Take that
Wu,
as a
in
yes.
November 2024, you gave an interview noting that you served on the city council a decade ago when the Boston Trust Act was first passed. You said in that interview that in terms of Boston's policy, there is a prohibition on resources and personnel going to enforce civil immigration detainers, meaning Boston police and other departments cannot cooperate with ICE when it comes to detaining on civil warrants. Mayor, is Boston a sanctuary city?
Boston is a safe city.
I take that as a yes. And Mayor Adams, on November 12th, 2024, you said, quote, this is a sanctuary city, but I must comment that you have, of the witnesses today of the major cities, you have publicly stated that you will. Thank you for that. But my question to you, sir, is New York City a sanctuary city?
Based on our classification, yes.
Okay. Last year
Thank you.
in a Boston suburb, an illegal alien raped and
honest.
impregnated his 14-year-old daughter while living in a shelter for illegal aliens.
That's terrible.
Mayor Wu, under Boston law, would you turn this criminal over to ICE on a detainer?
Nope.
Whenever there's a criminal warrant, Boston police enforce that and hold people accountable.
So would you turn that criminal over to ICE?
This happened outside the city of Boston, but I can tell you in the city, whenever someone commits a crime, whenever there's a criminal
doesn't wanna
warrant,
answer
we
the
hold them
question.
accountable. If ICE deems that they are dangerous enough to obtain a criminal warrant, and the Boston police will enforce it.
Will you turn that criminal over to ICE?
Yes
We
or no?
follow the laws,
I
and
take
we
that
make
as a
sure
no.
that everyone-
in Chicago, an illegal alien who is a
So no.
suspected member of a violent foreign gang who was brought into custody for his potential involvement in a murder. He was released when Cook County declined to press charges. This illegal alien is also facing charges for kidnapping and sexually assaulting his former girlfriend last year. Now he's on the streets. Mayor Johnson, under Chicago law, would you turn this criminal over to ICE on a detainer?
Our local law enforcement works hard every day to get criminals off the streets of Chicago.
Would you
And
turn that criminal over to ICE? That's the problem. That's one of the topics of this conversation.
Right.
That's one of the problems we've heard
These
from
people killing me, man.
Tom Hammond and from the
You don't
Homeland
wanna answer the
Security
question.
is that in your cities, when someone's apprehended for a crime and ICE is now with this new federal policy wanting to come in and deport the criminal alien, that you will not cooperate with ICE. Will you turn that criminal over to ICE?
And we do not harbor criminals. Our local police department works hard every single day to ensure that the city of Chicago is
Yes
safe.
or no? Will you turn the criminal over to ICE?
With a criminal warrant from the federal government, our local law enforcement repeatedly collaborates with federal agents.
So you're saying publicly today, you will turn that alien over to ICE in a safe place like a jail and not turn him out on the street and say, here you go, ICE, good luck. You will turn that criminal over to ICE.
With a criminal warrant, as we have done for 40
Should
years.
that criminal be turned over to ICE?
With a
Mayor?
criminal warrant, they are subject to the federal laws, and that includes deportation.
My time has expired, but again,
What? Yeah.
How hard is it to have someone go, somebody committed horrific crimes? Would you turn them over to law enforcement? And you to look at them and go, absolutely. Why is that so hard?
I don't know.
Oh my
Can you
God.
believe these progressives? No, I can't.
It's insane, dude. All right. So we're going to move to Representative Connolly, which is the minority member, right?
The ranking member.
Ranking member. Sorry.
From Virginia.
So the ranking member and the chairman is the majority party, and ranking member is the minority party. Okay. So 47-42. And it is, I mean, you got heard.
Thank you. Mayor Wu, I quoted Tom Homan, the so-called border czar, saying that he wanted to bring hell. He was bringing hell to the city of Boston. What did you understand him to mean by that?
Let's talk about Tom Homan.
Oh, good.
Shame on him for lying about my city, for having the nerve to insult our police commissioner who has overseen the safest Boston's been in anyone's lifetime. Bring him here under oath and let's ask him some questions. I am here.
Do you have any idea how many times Tom Homan has been under oath in front of Congress?
Yeah.
I lost count. A lot. I kind of got tired of seeing him on like all the time in front of Congress, all these viral clips, because that was the man who would not shut up about how bad the situation was at the border. Over and over, he stood fast against these straight up evil people who cared more about votes than they did American lives. Bring him here. Oh, girl.
To make sure that the city of Boston is safe. Others may want to bring hell. We are here to bring peace to cities everywhere.
Mayor Johnson of Denver, what would your reaction be if Tom Homan wants to bring hell to your city, Denver?
We think that we have folks in Denver who are working hard, playing by the rules, paying taxes. There is no one that is seeking hell to come to Denver. What people are looking for is opportunity and hope.
And for the record, he can do whatever he wants to do, I guess. But the fact of the matter is you absorbed on a per capita basis the largest immigration a year or two ago. And you indicated that your crime rate actually fell. It didn't increase. Is that correct?
That is correct. Crime is down in Denver. We have homicides down 17%. Violent shootings are down 24%.
And in Boston, I'm sorry, I've got limited time. Mayor Wu, same thing in Boston. The Boston crime rate has been falling, correct?
We had 24 homicides last year, 24 too many, but that represented a tremendous reduction, one of the biggest drops anywhere in the country.
Thank you. So the correlation between immigration and crime is false, as you point out, Mr. Beer. Perhaps you can elaborate that. I find it ironic that
They're lying. Don't believe the facts. Believe what we tell you. That's what it's all about. Okay, so jump ahead to Bobert. Good old Bobert from.
Watch this one.
Okay, so 52-32.
Gets heated.
All right, you guys want the viral moments? Here they are.
We're in the mayor of Colorado.
Guys, you can just look at this guy. Look at this guy. And I'm not somebody who makes fun of people's appearance. I just want to make sure you understand that. I'm not the most attractive guy, right? Sometimes I'm funny looking, especially with my hair all wispy and my bald spot shining. But look at this. Is this a guy you trust to tell you the truth? Really? I'm just saying.
He's been in Washington a long time.
He's been in Washington a long time, man.
I want to see 30 years.
Oh, my goodness. Bruh. All right. Here we go.
Yield back.
Yield back. Chair recognized Ms. Bobert from Colorado.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mayor Mike Johnston, I hope we could start off on a level field of agreement here. So in your testimony, you said that locals were asking Denver what will you do? When they saw 10 to 11 buses coming in a day and 42,000 illegal aliens entering their city, Denver, what will you do? And in a Fox 31 interview in January, you blamed state law for not allowing the city of Denver to coordinate with ICE, resulting in Denver being a sanctuary city, saying, quote, the whole state is bound by our state law in this, which is pretty consistent in some of these practices, like everywhere in the state. We don't honor ICE detainers, end quote. I've demanded Governor Jared Polis and the Colorado State Legislature to repeal them. Douglas County has led on a lawsuit to get those laws repealed. So, Mr. Mayor, would you join me today in calling and demanding that these sanctuary policies, these Colorado state laws, be repealed?
Thank you, Congresswoman.
Yes or no, Mr. Mayor?
Pardon?
Yes or no? Will you join me?
I do not believe the detainer law needs to be changed. I can tell you what Denver
Okay, so
does.
There you go. There you go. Oh, we can't because of state law. Well, would you vote to change that? Would you join me in getting that changed? No, I think it's fine. These people are a joke. They are an absolute joke. This is performing art at this point. It's performative arts. All these people, like, there's no way they really believe this shit. There's no way. Because this is clearly lie, half truth. Oh, yeah, I know I said that, but I didn't mean it. Get out of here.
You don't want them
really
to coordinate with ICE, but yet you're blaming the state of Colorado for those policies. It's a statewide law. It's not a Denver law. And you're blaming the state of Colorado for the law, yet you will not call for that law to be repealed. Correct? Yes or no?
We do coordinate with ICE presently. I'm happy to tell you what we do on this. We've honored detainer requests more than 1,226 times over the last
What about
years.
before a warrant? There are many issues before a warrant.
So if what happens is if ICE has sends us a detainer request,
Well, you have local law enforcement officers, Mr. Mayor, who are unable to coordinate with ICE to even get the initial warrant. They aren't allowed to tell them that they are illegal aliens. So, and unfortunately, you won't join me in asking for this law, demanding that this law be repealed. So let's keep going. In 2017, Denver passed an ordinance that ensured any city employee who spoke with federal immigration authorities would be fired, among other policies that have led to local and national media outlets to call Denver a sanctuary city. So now let me ask you, would a city employee be fired for communicating with anyone from the EPA?
Right now, Congresswoman, our policies, we don't ask people's status.
Would any city employee be fired for communicating and coordinating, talking with an agent from the EPA, a federal employee?
Not to my knowledge, Congresswoman.
What about Health and Human Services? Would they get fired for talking with someone from Health and Human Services?
Not to my knowledge, Congresswoman.
So they would only be fired for talking to federal law enforcement officers.
No, that's incorrect, Congresswoman.
This is an ordinance
city employees do.
Denver passed in 2017, Mr. Mayor.
Our city employees do, in fact, communicate with ICE. We do coordinate on multiple things with ICE. For instance, if there is a violent criminal warrant in the city, we pursue that
we're talking
together.
Before the warrants, Mr. Mayor. There are issues happening before warrants are issued, and local law enforcement officers are unable to coordinate because there is no warrant. And your ordinance says that a city employee would be fired for communicating with federal law enforcement. So you've been mayor for 600.
Here's what it comes down to, right? In order to get a warrant, you need probable cause. In order to prove probable cause, you need evidence. Evidence such as someone saying, yeah, I saw that guy do blank, or I talked to him and blank. Denver made it to where they can't talk to ICE to provide evidence to obtain the warrant. So then they can go, well, if there's a warrant, we can still. It's rip.
Have you ever called for that ordinance to be repealed?
We are not unable to coordinate with ICE right now. We're in communication with ICE right now.
Only if there is a warrant, but I'm talking prior to the warrant.
Right.
We wouldn't have a reason to coordinate.
Because you don't know if they're illegal, because you are unable to coordinate until there's a warrant. So that's why this ordinance needs to be repealed.
I agree. I mean, but, you know, All right, so we're going to jump ahead just a little bit, and we're going to get Representative Lynch.
Yep.
From where?
Massachusetts, Democrat from Massachusetts.
Of course. All right, 10907. And it's a shame because, again, Massachusetts used to be incredible too. Dude, I hate the East Coast now. Like, not hate. Hate's a big term. I hate driving semis on the East Coast. I'll say that.
Can see why.
Yeah. But I don't really like even driving like a personal vehicle, four-wheeler or a cage or whatever little term, different industries or groups have for cars. I can't even stand driving on the East Coast at all anymore. It's awful. It is awful. All right. So 10907 to 11121.
Work. I truly believe that if we had a rational and comprehensive immigration policy in this country, if we competently regulated the flow of immigration, if we knew the purpose and circumstances of each immigrant's arrival here, and if every immigrant knew what was expected of them when they arrived, I honestly and truly believe that immigration could be the greatest blessing for our country.
Can be.
Absolutely. I agree with that.
Our world rivals.
Here's the problem, though. The laws already exist. The Democrats just don't want them enforced. Hold on. I know you're about to say, is our immigration system perfect? Hell no, not even close. There are all kinds of issues. Could it be improved? Absolutely.
I think there needs to be reform.
Oh, there absolutely needs to be reform. We need to tighten some stuff up and loosen up other things. Yeah.
Because I have a friend who's married to somebody from England
who's
trying to come here.
Mm-hmm.
And the hassle of just being able to have him come here, and he would contribute to America.
Right.
And he can't come. I think the systems needs to be reformed.
I agree. Here's the thing, right? I think there needs to be more opportunities to come here legally for those who want to assimilate.
Okay. Fair point.
I think if you're going to be a law-abiding citizen, I think if you're going to contribute to the place that you move to here in the United States, and if you want to preserve what makes the United States the greatest country on earth, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
All right. But you have to have a trade. You have to have this. You have to have that. You have to not be wanted for crimes in the country you're coming from. And there's a lot more. I'm no immigration lawyer. But what I do know is our current system, yeah, it's flawed. But as Trump's showing right now, the laws already exist.
They do.
To get rid of.
We need to secure the border and start completely over.
Agreed.
China and Russia. No one are world rivals, China and Russia. No one is trying to sneak into China, sneak into Russia. It's because what we offer here as a nation.
I guess
there is a substantive issue that's at play here. And I want to address that. So under Article 1, Section 8, Clause 4 of the Constitution, it provides Congress, and I'll read the section here, to establish a uniform rule of naturalization. And Clause 18 further provides that Congress has the power to make all laws that shall be necessary and proper to execute its enumerated powers, including immigration. So it appears that Congress has taken up that responsibility in the Immigration and Nationality Act, which they exercise under constitutional writ. On the other hand, we have local so-called sanctuary city laws that at times, so those sanctuary cities laws tend to address local cooperation with federal authorities in your jurisdictions, within your cities. And sometimes it does appear that the sanctuary city laws are defending against the congressional grant of authority to operate in that area. Now, you all, as mayors, and I ask this of the entire panel, you deal with this every single day, and we've heard some of it in your testimony.
I mean, is he wrong? in certain respects. All right, our next one is Representative Perry,
Republican
P-E-R-R-Y,
from Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania. Okay, and that is 12526.
Thanks, Mr. Chairman. Mayors, thanks for being here, leaving your cities to come to Washington, D.C. today. By either definition or by claim, each of you, I think, could justifiably say represent what's considered a sanctuary city. If you could describe it, what would you, sanctuary from what? Anybody? Mayor Johnson, you want to start? Mayor Johnston?
Thank you, Congressman. I welcome that because I wanted to clarify. We do not shield people from federal.
I just asked you what, so you don't consider yourself a sanctuary city?
We provide services and supports.
Do you consider yourself a sanctuary city? That's just.
We do not under that definition.
You don't use the definition, you're not a sanctuary.
We call ourselves a welcoming city.
Okay, so what are you welcoming and who are you not welcoming?
Well, we're welcoming everybody.
Okay.
And we've seen the push to redefine our language, right?
Oh yeah.
And we could mention some certain things on here, but we're not going to even go down that route because YouTube sucks. But we've seen a push to change the definitions of, and George Carlin actually went on a long time. You know who George Carlin is? Did you watch him? Do you like him? Yeah. Okay. There were some things I agreed with him, some things I didn't, but he did a little skit about how words change, right? And one of the things is we used to have like shell shock, right? Where you talk about, and then it went war fatigue. A little softer, not quite as bad, right? And all the way down until now you got post-traumatic stress disorder. 4 words, much, much softer, a lot easier to digest, and it takes out a lot of the damn impact from it. Shell shock. I mean, that's a thing. War fatigue. But like, it's not the same. They've changed the meanings of words. They've changed the very words that we're allowed to use in everyday speech, despite this allegedly being the home of free speech.
We don't keep folks.
So you're welcoming criminals that you don't have any idea what their crime background is, and you're good with that.
He said everyone.
He did.
He said everyone.
He did.
No, we aggressively pursue.
How do you do that?
Anyway.
No. How do you vet the people that you welcome in your sanctuary city?
Sir, we don't vet folks that arrive from Illinois or California with a background check when they come into the Denver airport any more than someone from another location.
So you're welcoming any illegal immigrant or illegal alien to your city without question?
Well, folks that make the decision to come to Denver, they arrive, and then we expect.
But you call them, you welcome them, you welcome them, you call them to your city, and say, if you come here, you will be safe from what?
Thank you, sir. We don't call anyone to our city. Folks that arrive in our city, we offer same access to services they may need to be successful. And if they break the law, we hold them accountable. We charge them. We prosecute them.
What about if they've already broken the law?
Well, if they've already broken the law and there is another jurisdiction that has a warrant for that person, they let us know and we would cooperate to transfer them to that jurisdiction.
I think we saw in Mr. Jordan's conversation with you that you really don't do that.
Exactly.
Mayor Johnson.
You're a liar.
How about you? How many, according to my records, you have welcomed 51,648 illegal aliens to your sanctuary city. So I'd ask you, sanctuary from what?
Yeah.
If you're referring to the number of individuals that were bused from Governor Abbott without any coordination, the 52,000 individuals that were seeking asylum, those individuals were bused to us. I passed a bus ordinance to work to coordinate with the governor of Texas. He refused to do that.
And why would he? Why would he work? No, I mean this seriously, right? And I get you could play the bullshit political games. But when you have a city that stands firm on we're not going to cooperate with ICE, we believe that all people are people and there's no illegal people and we're welcoming to everybody. Okay. All right, well, they're streaming across the fucking border. Here you go.
Yeah. What's Texas supposed to do?
What's Texas supposed to do?
Uh-huh.
These people are fucking stupid. I mean, like 2 bricks rubbed together stupid. I just rock fucking stupid.
But that transfer of individuals was the result of the governor of Texas, not the result of a welcoming city ordinance.
Welcome.
It's Evan's fault. Mommy did it.
City ordinance. So
welcoming
you're not
city
welcoming these people that came here illegally?
The individuals that were bused to us from the border.
They were not welcome in Chicago? You didn't welcome them? You didn't provide them sanctuary?
So the welcoming city ordinance is pretty straightforward. It allows for our local law enforcement to focus on local policies, and that's why we're seeing a decline in violence.
So you don't care about federal law enforcement policies, only local policies?
We comply with all laws. What I do care about is this body, Washington, passing comprehensive immigration.
So let me ask you this. Chicago residents reported 28,443 violent crimes during 2024 alone. Cases of aggravated assault rising to the highest level in 2 decades. Now, also, state funds, $160 million, were issued to illegal alien job assistance shelters in Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
You're the mayor of Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that your residents or the residents of your state should be paying for that more than they should be paying for their own needs? Their own roads, their own public safety.
Exactly.
I mean, who elected you? The people that came illegally, whether they were sent to you or not, or the people that reside in Chicago? Who elected you? And who do you serve?
The people of Chicago elected me as the 57th mayor of the city of Chicago.
Yes, they did.
Yeah. Okay. So let's say that's accurate. I'm not saying it's not. I'm saying let's assume for the purposes of this discussion that there was no hanky-panky in that election and that he was actually elected. Now, if that's the case, then guess who elected you? The citizens.
Uh-huh.
That's why they're pissed. If you guys look, you can find it. Look online. Chicago residents are calling him all kinds of words, man.
And they're going to city council meetings. People have turned and saying, there's some Trump people that go over there.
Oh, yeah. And interestingly enough, the people that go from the south side of Chicago, the people that are that the mainstream media tells you hates Trump and Trump hates them and right? They are welcoming to the proudly red hat displaying Trump people. And they have said on the record, you keep up this bullshit, Chicago's flipping red. We will make sure Republicans get elected because you have sold us out. There's tons of clips, man. I couldn't even I got to tighten it all down just to show you all of it. It's nuts. All right. Let's see. Okay, so yeah, we're gonna pop ahead to Khanna, Khanna. I don't know who that is.
Representative from California.
Well, of course it is.
He's on TV a lot, so you might recognize him.
I'll probably recognize. I just don't know his name.
Chair, Mr. Chair,
he's on Fox.
Chair, Dr. Scott.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair, I find the Republican position in this hearing quite ironic because the Republicans are the party that are always touting local government.
Oh, this
state
dipshit.
Government, local control.
Okay, you've seen him.
I've seen
not
him.
having federal overreach. So I want to explore actually one of your favorite topics on the other side of the aisle.
Yeah, here's the problem, though. I'm just going to say this before you get started on your. We tried that. We've been begging. We've been insisting on state level. But the Democrats have been steadily, and Republicans, the deep state, the whatever the hell you want, the establishment, whatever, all these pieces of human garbage have been expanding the federal government exponentially year over year over year. That argument is way too old, homie. Like you should have left that back where
Republicans tried to do state law for immigration too, and the Supreme Court said that you can't do that.
Right, because the federal government.
The infamous mask mandates. I know how much you love them. When CDC came out with the mask mandate order of January 29, 2021, they said that we needed to have fines of $1,500 for anyone who didn't wear a mask on a plane or in a public space. And they said that there needed to be referred criminally to the Transportation Authority if they violated it more than once.
Which, think about that for a minute. And this is exactly the kind of crap I'm talking about. Democrats were on board with that. They wanted you and me arrested for not wearing this. That. They wanted you arrested. Arrested. Fuck these people. I have no sympathy for them whatsoever at this point. People have lost their livelihoods. People have lost their jobs, their homes, their cars, their families because of the bullshit ass overreach for the federal government has been around for way too long. Cry me a river.
Governor Abbott said in Executive Order 38, we're not going to enforce, we're not going to have our cities enforce the mask mandate. And Governor DeSantis said the same thing.
And again, a mandate is not a law. A mandate is not a law, period. Go home.
We're not going to have our local police enforce the mandate. I want to ask Mayor Adams and Mayor Wu, because you had slightly different views on the mask mandate, but Mayor Adams, you were actually praised in New York for saying we are going to take away some of these mask mandates earlier so businesses can open and there can be a revival in New York. Did you ever, in law enforcement, to your knowledge, enforce the CDC mask mandate and ask your law enforcement to fine people who didn't wear a mask $1,500?
What we did was look at the science and looked at how it will impact business. And after issuing warnings in education.
But I think it's fair to say, Mayor, right? You never referred anyone to the Transportation Department for prosecution, and you never had local police out there saying we're going to fine people $1,500 with the CDC mandate.
The goal was to always ensure that people will carry out the procedure, and we did several education and warning in the process.
See, this is what I'm talking about. They're perfectly okay with this. And it was the Democrat, whether you agree, disagree, I have my own feelings, and those who really want to know what they are can look back at my previous videos when I ran for both Congress and state rep. I have my own feelings about marijuana, cannabis, whatever. Federal law is very clear. For years, these lefty states have thumbed their nose at the federal government and said, nope, we're going to do it. And they've been allowed to. Well, if it's okay to thumb your nose at the federal government when it comes to drug laws, why isn't it okay to thumb your nose at the federal government when it comes to gun laws, considering that's supposed to be codified in the Constitution? I'm just like, there is no level of consistency across this at all. At all. And I know it can be hard to figure out like who's right, who's wrong, who's telling the truth, who's not, because our media is useless now, and worse than useless, actively lying, actively feeding us propaganda. It sucks, man. That's why we try to do this. And hopefully we can learn along the way whether the things these people say are true. Because once again, what's his name? Johnston's claiming that Chicago's never been safer. That's bull. That's why businesses are freaking hauling ass out of Chicago. All right, Representative Fox, 137
North Carolina.
from North Carolina,
Republican
137.29 to 138.51.
Republican from North Carolina.
Here we go.
Our chair recognizes Dr. Fox from North Carolina.
Dr. Fox.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mayor Johnson, in the last 4 years, how much has Chicago spent on care for illegal aliens?
Thank you for that question, Congresswoman. So since 2022, since the governor of Texas began
Just
shipping.
tell me a number. I don't need a speech. Just tell me a number.
I love
So
it.
since 2022,
she
since
doesn't
the
put up
governor
with
of
crap.
Texas was shipping individuals to cities across this country, the city's budget, roughly 1% of the city's budget over the course of 4 years.
Mayor Johnston, the same question, and I don't need a speech, just a number.
Thank you, Dr. Congresswoman. Thank you, Congresswoman. It's 79 million over the last 2.5 years.
Mayor Adams, same question.
I-
How much
I
has New
believe
York
it's
spent
way,
to
way
care
more.
for illegal aliens?
Approximately $6.9 billion went out of our taxpayers' funds.
Dude.
Uh-huh.
Dude. I think that's what I'm going to say, by the way. I think that's why ultimately Mayor Adams is sitting right here instead of still being investigated by the FBI, whatever, because they told him you can either be honest or we can keep this circus going. That's just my thought. I think there's some serious leverage happening with the Trump administration because, dude, they have all the evidence. They have all the evidence of these people and the crimes they've committed. They're in full control of the NSA. We already saw with Snowden, the NSA reads all of our phone calls, GPS, like all of it. They have all the data. Like, I think there's some crazy stuff coming down, but we'll talk about that.
Mayor Wu, same question. How much has Boston spent to care for illegal aliens in the last 4 years?
We do not ask about immigration status and giving city services and providing that access, so we do not have a number.
No clue. Couldn't tell you.
Don't care.
Don't care.
Yeah,
I don't care.
she
It
doesn't
doesn't
even
matter.
care.
That's how unconcerned they are with your tax dollars, guys. All right. 15407, Representative Garcia.
do the policies that you know are best for your residents. Now, the Trump administration has threatened to prosecute some of the mayors on the panel today and force them to comply with his extremist agenda. But however, Mayor Adams, you are in a different position. You, of course, are already facing serious criminal charges. And Mayor Adams, I assume that you are not going to commit perjury today. And I do believe, though, that you have an enormous amount of issues facing you ahead of you. And it means that your criminal charges are absolutely relevant to us today. Bribery, wire fraud, willfully and knowingly conspiring to commit offenses against the United States. Mayor Adams, you, of course, deny these corruption charges against you. Is that correct?
Yes. Yes, Congressman.
Thank you. Now, I understand that you are proven innocent unless you are guilty, but you also have, sir, a trust problem.
That's not how that works.
No.
You're what? Hold on. I got to make
do it.
Hold
again.
on.
Innocent?
Hold on.
Thank you. Now, I understand that you are proven innocent unless you are guilty.
You are proven innocent unless you are guilty, guys.
I think he misspoke, but still, at least I hope he misspoke.
They might actually believe that. Who knows? You know, I don't
you're
know.
innocent until proven guilty.
Right.
Representative Garcia.
Yeah, you moron.
But you also have, sir, a trust problem. 4 of your deputy mayors have resigned. Now, this is serious, and Republican prosecutors agree that the evidence against you is ironclad, yet Trump's DOJ moved to drop these charges. Now, I just want to be and show this. I want to be just really clear and show this here. Now, look at how the Trump-appointed acting U.S. attorney who is prosecuting you described it. Because the law does not support a dismissal, and because I am confident that Adams committed the crimes with which he is charged, I cannot agree to seek a dismissal. Now, this is a conservative Republican who resigned when Donald Trump pressured her to drop the charges. And we know the Trump administration demanded that the charges be dropped. And this is key. They will be able to refile them against you, Mr. Mayor, at any time. I think, personally, that's why you sat next to the architect of family separation on Fox and Friends.
Oh, God.
Now, Tom Homan sat...
The architect of family separation. What an absolutely ridiculous thing to say, especially when Obama started that shit.
Next to you and said the following, and I quote, "Getting on Rikers Island is step one. We're working on some other things that we don't really want to talk about on open air because the city council will be putting roadblocks up on us. The mayor and me have a commitment to several other things." Now, this was you, of course, and Mr. Homan, the architect of family separation. This is also incredibly concerning, Mr. Mayor. You sat next to him, you smiled, you badmouthed your own city council. Now, Mr. Mayor, we have a right to know if the Trump administration has actually coerced you into agreeing to anything. And Mayor Adams, I also want to be very clear. Are you selling out New Yorkers to save yourself from prosecution?
There's no deal, no quid pro quo, and I did nothing wrong. And anything dealing with this case out of deference to Judge Ho, who's now addressing it, I'm going to refer to his actions.
Well, Mr. Mayor, it appears, to me at least, that you are selling New Yorkers out. It appears that you are working with Tom Homan, who is clearly focused on family separation and deportations and harming New Yorkers and others across the country. Now,
it is clear to me that you're a traitor. You can say anything you want, dude. Like, it's clear to me that you have blue hair. No, you just act like you do. Look, I don't care what color hair you make, but it is interesting that so many of these really buck wild people who, you know, oh my God, Trump looked at me. I hate him so much. He said breathe oxygen and it's good for you. He's such a bastard. Those kind of people seem to have blue hair. Anyway.
Trump derangement.
TDS, baby. It's on full display. Okay. All right. So 22008 to 22416, Representative Higgins from
your home state of Louisiana.
Mr. Higgins from Louisiana. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Or I should say your
Let's clarify for America.
birth state. Yeah, it was my birth state of Louisiana. Yeah.
Okay. Mayor Adams, Mayor Johnson.
You talked about this earlier.
Mayor Johnson and Mayor Wu, are you here today under the advice of counsel, and do you have counsel present? Yes or no?
I want to understand the question. Are
you here today under the advice of counsel, and do you have counsel present?
Do have counsel present. I'm here because we were requested to appear.
Did you consult with? Did you have counsel prior to your appearance?
Yes, we did.
Thank you. This is not a trap question. We just want to clarify.
Okay.
Here under the advice of counsel, do you have counsel present?
Yes, sir.
No,
Counsel present here because I was invited.
Did you counsel before your trip here?
We do have counsel.
Get
I was
advice
here.
from your counsel?
Yes.
Okay, then you're under the advice of counsel.
Right.
Yes.
Mayor Wu, thank you. Did you just clarify for America?
He is,
these
dude, he is
mayors
the
are-
single most evasive politician I have seen in at least a couple of days.
I was gonna say, wait a minute.
All sanctuary city
Talking about
mayors.
Johnson from Chicago.
But the narrative is no longer comfortable because 3 months ago, we were at the tail end of 4 years of millions and millions of illegals coming into our country. It was out of control. The only thing that has happened since then is we had an election in November.
Interesting, huh?
And now we're not pulling the curtain back. We have ripped the curtain from the rod.
Yep.
We have revealed to America just how fast we could have secured our border if you had an executive that was willing to enforce the law. So now we're paying attention to our municipalities. And every one of them is lawyered up. They've changed their narrative. We got example after example. The mayor of Chicago, we must lead with and live by the promise of Sanctuary City. The mayor of Denver, willing to go to jail defense of sanctuary city policy. The list goes on. But the policies of these mayors and our previous president have consequences, real life consequences. I have a family here today, Mr. Chairman, who lost their beautiful loved one. This young man was killed by an illegal immigrant in Texas that never should have been in our country. He'll never be here to raise his daughter, Anne Marie, to love and cherish and honor and uphold his beautiful wife, Olivia. And you mayors have responsibility, not just to your communities and the citizens you just want to serve, but by extension to the entire republic. And let me clarify, I was a cop for a long time. To honor the jurisdictional authority of another law enforcement agency, you do it every day in your city. Guaranteed, every one of you, if you have an inmate in your city on city charges, and that inmate has a felony warrant from a neighboring county or another county in your state, and that county contacts your city while you have that inmate in detention, and ask you to hold them for them to come pick it up upon release, guaranteed you release that inmate.
Because you want the other one to do that for you. That's how it works, reciprocal.
To the county over or to your state police,
right.
But you're not doing it for ICE.
Yep.
And ICE is responsible to remove millions of hard-edged criminal illegals from our country. And we've had enough. America's
absolutely.
With this betrayal of oath, and you'll be held accountable. One of you said you're willing to go to jail. We might give you that opportunity.
Oh, you know what? And that's crazy. Listen to this. Like, I'm willing to go to jail to pick people who are here illegally over our own citizens.
Insane.
Okay. All right. Well, let's make that happen. All right. We got 3 more clips for you. We're almost done. 23211.
Yep. Representative Biggs from Arizona. And there's no more Democrats speaking.
No, I think we heard what they had to say.
Yeah.
Pretty much summed up.
So when you are a sanctuary city, you put limits on how much you're willing to cooperate with federal agencies' efforts to remove illegal aliens. And your policies are then contravene federal law. You just do. Under Title 8 of the U.S. Code, it says a federal, state, or local government entity or official may not prohibit or in any way restrict any government entity or official from sending to or receiving from the Immigration Naturalization Service any information regarding the citizenship or immigration status of any individual. Yeah, so when I look at your guys' ordinances, and I got them all up here, and they're really interesting stuff. And Denver, I think you testified previously that you rely on the statutory section, am I right, of the state statute. So let's just review this. There is a distinction, and some of you have made that. Mayor Johnson of Chicago made this repeatedly, and Mayor Wu of Boston did. There's a distinction between criminal warrant, and you say we cooperate on criminal warrant, but there's 2 levels of cooperation at least. There's a communication level, and there's a passing the person off.
Yep.
That's one level with the criminal, but the civil level. This is what I want to talk about for a second, because all of these ordinances proscribe communication and transfer of someone where there's a civil warrant. Now, I know that all of you understand that a removal order is a civil order. And that means none of you and none of your agencies within your municipalities are communicating or passing over someone where there's a ICE removal detainer. So I don't care how many times, 1,226 or whatever it was in 7 years, I don't care how many times you do it, but if you're not doing it for civil orders,
then you're allowing people who have a removal order, who've had due process, because that's how you get a removal order. You're allowing them to stay in the country. You're in violation of this law right here. You are. You're in violation of that law right there. And you've got to start realizing what your criminal culpability is on that. And that's really what we're talking about here. So you don't think that's harboring, perhaps? But let's take a look at that next statute, please.
I mean, this is pretty straightforward. May not prohibit or in any way restrict any government entity or official from sending to or receiving from the Immigration and Naturalization Service information regarding the citizenship or immigration status, lawful or unlawful, of any individual. I mean, they always talk about how nobody's above the law.
Mm-hmm.
Federal statute. In conducting investigations and hearings, immigration officers and administrative law judges shall have reasonable access to examine evidence of any person or entity being investigated. If you're holding someone back even if it's under a civil warrant, because that's what you said you're not going to participate in, and you are preventing access to that person or evidence, you're in violation of this. You have criminal culpability under this.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
And you'll notice there's no mens rea requirement here. This is it.
Mens rea requirement? Is that what he said?
Yeah, I'm not sure what that is.
I'm not sure either. If you want to mens rea, come on.
Requirement here. This
one more time.
And you'll notice there's no mens rea requirement here. This is it. Every one of you.
Maybe mens rea or whatever he said, and then immigration or 8 USC. Maybe, I don't know.
Is exposed to criminal culpability here. That's the reality.
Yeah.
Of it.
What came up with Google was vaccine requirement. So I don't know if that's. I don't think that's anything.
I don't know what he's talking about. If you guys do, let us know in the comments.
Any person who knowing that a person is an alien, knowing or in reckless disregard. Now you got a culpable mental state here. Of the fact that an alien has come to, entered, or remains in the United States in violation of law, conceals, harbors, or shields from detection. Or attempts to conceal, harbor, or shield from detection such alien in any place.
Oh, crap.
You'll notice
8 USC 1324, guys. It turns out that all the Republicans that said, again, I know I keep using that word, conservatives, law-abiding citizens, who pointed out that you guys are breaking the law with these laws of sanctuary cities. No, we're not. Yeah, y'all are.
It doesn't make a distinction that all of y'all want to make.
Yep.
Of criminal warrants versus civil.
No, it doesn't matter.
You're all in violation of all three of these statutes. You got criminal culpability. I yield back.
I think he's absolutely right. Absolutely right. All right. So Representative Mace, 24154. She's a trip, man.
Yeah, just wait.
The North Virginia is proudly
Why?
home
Stop
to
it. There. Sometimes it's just
She
faster
doesn't
to
put
do
up
it
with
like
crap.
this. No, dude, bro, I wish she was my congresswoman. Like, legitimately. We got Mervan, who, by the way, I'd like to mention, was standing up with the Democrats.
He was
protesting what?
He was with the Democrats when they were protesting the censure of Al Green.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I sent you those pictures.
Yep. Which means he is perfectly okay with people acting the way Al Green did during the President of the United States address to Congress.
We need a new congressman.
Bruh, don't even get me started about him.
It's Mace.
letting his base down if he doesn't carry out. Thank you.
Chair recognizes Ms. Mace from South Carolina.
Here we go.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. All of the mayors here today are actively working to harm the American people you represent.
Yeah.
You all have blood on your hands. I'm going to ask a series of yes or no questions today, and I would like to remind all of you, You are under oath. I only want a yes or no to my questions. My first question, do you acknowledge breaking into our country is a crime? Mayor Adams, yes or no? Do you acknowledge breaking into our country is a crime?
I acknowledge.
Yes or no?
I acknowledge.
Okay, Honorable Johnson, he's not going to answer the question. Yes or no? Is breaking into our country against the law? Yes or no?
Depends how you cross the border.
Okay,
Some folks
Mayor
have
Johnson,
status.
yes or no?
Comprehensive
What?
immigration reform policy.
Oh my God, these people. Like,
You won't answer the question.
breaking into our country means entering illegally. When you break into somebody, if you're welcomed in, if you're invited in, you're not breaking in. But they can't, they just can't. They can't say it's a crime.
These are
Breaking into our country
listen.
against the law? Yes or
Depends
no?
how you cross the border.
Okay.
No, it
Mayor
doesn't.
Johnson, yes or no?
comprehensive immigration
that's not an
reform
answer.
policies
Mayor
are what's
Wu?
necessary in this
Mayor Wu,
moment.
do you have a better answer than these gentlemen before you? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. Do you believe it's acceptable for illegals who commit heinous crimes be released back into the public instead of being detained and deported? Mayor Adams, yes or no?
Anyone break a crime?
Yes or no? This is not hard. Yes or no?
Anyone that break a crime should be detained.
Okay, Mayor. Yes or no?
They should be deported.
Okay, Mayor.
Any individual
Yes
that
or
causes
no?
harm
Yes or
and
no?
breaks
Okay,
the
Mayor
law
Wu.
should be held
This
accountable.
is why you have 6% approval rating, because you
Yep.
suck at answering questions. Mayor Wu?
Yeah.
Yes or no?
Anyone who's a public safety threat should be prosecuted.
All right, I have my next question.
That reminds me, 6% approval rating
There's
of
a reason.
Chicago mayor.
When an illegal alien rapes a woman, do you believe you're on the right side of history? Mayor Adams, yes or no?
Can we say that question again?
Okay, Mayor Johnston. When an illegal alien rapes a woman, do you believe you're on the right side of history? Yes or no?
I will charge and prosecute them.
Yes or no? Okay, well, okay. You said you would go to jail, didn't you?
I will
For
charge
harboring
and
illegal
prosecute them.
aliens or
Right.
something, Mayor Johnson?
Right.
Could you repeat your question, please?
When an illegal alien rapes a woman, do you believe you're on the right side of history?
Could you clarify that question?
Okay, Mayor Wu, yes or no?
No, rape is obviously
Then
horrible.
why are you letting rapists back out onto the streets of Boston?
That is not true. That is
Okay.
not what's happening in
When
Boston.
an illegal alien molests a kid, molests an underage kid, do you pat yourself on the back for being compassionate? Mayor Adams?
It's despicable and he should be arrested.
Mayor Johnson?
I prosecute folks that commit crimes like that.
You guys let him out on the streets. Mayor Johnson?
We arrest violent criminals in the city of Chicago.
Mayor Wu?
We investigate, arrest, and prosecute.
You guys don't sound very confident today.
No, they don't.
Would your city honor an ICE detainer on an illegal alien who rapes kids if one was issued today? Mayor Adams? Yes or no?
In conformance with law, we will honor detainers.
Mayor Johnson?
If there's a criminal warrant, we'll help them pick them up. If there's no criminal warrant, we'll honor a notification request.
Mayor Johnson?
Criminal warrants, we always cooperate with federal agents with a criminal warrant.
Mayor Wu?
Get a criminal warrant, we will enforce.
A criminal warrant. I'm talking about an ICE detainer
Two
on
different things.
an individual who's here illegal who rapes kids.
Yeah.
Do you all hate Donald Trump more than you love your country, Mayor Adams?
Good question.
I respect my president. I respect my
Yes or
country,
no?
and I
You're having the
respect
hardest time today.
my city.
Right.
Mayor Johnston?
I love my country.
Yes or no?
I love my
Okay.
country.
Mayor Johnson?
As a son of a pastor, I love everyone and this country.
Mayor Wu?
I love my country and my city.
Do you all,
Bruh.
are you all willing to go to jail for violating federal law? Mayor Adams?
I'm not going to violate federal law, so I don't have to worry about that.
Mayor Johnston?
We don't violate federal law either.
You don't violate federal law.
We do not violate federal
Is it
law.
violating federal law if you don't honor detainer requests from ICE?
Absolutely not. In fact, the statute Congressman Biggs shared, we explicitly follow. The statute says you cannot prohibit city employees from sharing information about someone's status with the government. We do not prohibit that.
Do you love illegal aliens more than you love your fellow country?
Yeah, you don't prohibit it, you just prosecute them. That's what it said. I don't know. I don't know the laws in Denver
No, I don't
or the
either.
laws in Colorado, but if you guys live in Colorado, let us know. Is that the case? I'm not going to dig into it because I got enough of my own stuff to look up, but like, is that the case?
I love all the residents of the city and county.
Mayor Johnston, are you willing to go to jail for violating federal law?
The city of Chicago complies with all laws.
Oh, I highly doubt that.
I
Mayor Wu?
highly doubt
We
that
are
too.
not violating federal law.
Mayor Wu, I have a last couple questions for you. Do you believe that ICE arresting a child rapist, quote, threatens everyone's safety, end quote? Yes or no?
No.
Does ICE arresting a murderous MS-13 gang member threaten everyone's safety? Yes or no?
No.
I would like to hold up this quote of you where you say ICE's efforts actually threaten the safety of everyone, end quote. Boston Mayor Michelle Wu. You're a hypocrite. Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and I yield back.
Yeah, you're a lying POS. All right, last clip, guys. I know it's been a while. Last clip, and we're gonna do 3:15:44. So we jump ahead quite a bit.
Representative Wuna from Florida.
That's another one we'll have to keep a close eye on her because she's making waves, man. Is that the one that's on the board, the little task force thing for the
Doge?
No, for the JFK documents? And
I think she is.
I thought so. I think that was the same person. Let's see. Here we go. And it looks like it's about 4 minutes, give or take, and then we'll wrap up super fast because this took longer than I thought.
Ms. Luna from Florida.
Mayor Wu, does the Boston Trust Act restrict communication with federal immigration authorities regarding individuals' immigration status? Yes or no?
We do not collect immigration status in law enforcement.
I'd just like to point out, and Mr. Chairman, if I could enter the Boston Trust Act into the record. Mr. Chairman.
Without objection to ordered.
I think he fell asleep.
On page, or let's see, section 4AA, a law enforcement official and employment of the city department, agency, or commission shall not, and then A, inquire of an individual on his or her immigration status. Under Title 8, U.S. Code subsection 1373 stipulates that local governments cannot prohibit or restrict communication with federal immigration authorities regarding individuals' immigration status. So your enforcement of this act is in direct violation of that statute. Can you please confirm?
That is not
Thank
the
you, ma'am.
truth.
That's a U.S. code. I don't know about you, but U.S. code does not lie.
We do not ask about
Mayor
immigration
Johnson, I'm not
status, and
talking
that is
to you
what
anymore.
makes
Next
us safe in the
question,
city.
Mayor Johnston, you said in your testimony that the first step you took after illegal aliens arrived was to provide them with housing. Is that correct? Yes or no?
Folks that were on the streets freezing to death, we gave access to shelter. Yes, we did.
Thank you. Not to be rude here, but you have a good understanding of what the definition of harboring is, correct?
I do.
Okay. For those that might not, harboring means to knowingly or recklessly provide shelter or place to stay for an illegal alien. And according to Title 8 of U.S. Code subsection 1324, that is also a federal crime.
So just to make sure everybody's caught up, he just admitted on the congressional record that he harbored illegals because he didn't even contest that they were illegal. He said, we didn't know what their status was. We just knew they were hungry people or freezing people or whatever.
Just to be clear, did you also say that you would be willing to go to jail to stop deportation efforts?
I did say that I'd be willing to stand up for all of our residents, and the context was that was the point at which the administration was threatening to deploy the U.S. military to streets of our cities to
Okay.
pull kids out of schools and churches.
Thank
so we
you.
were worried about that.
Thank you, Mr. Johnson.
So, yeah, you
Mr.
did.
Chairman, I'd like to enter into the record an article from CBS.
Without objection to ordered.
Thank you. In this, it says, Johnson said earlier this week that he's willing to use civil disobedience and, if necessary, going to jail to stop deportations. My final question would be for you, Mr. Mayor Johnson. Do you believe that Chicago's welcoming city ordinance encourages illegal aliens to enter the United States, specifically into Chicago? Yes or no?
No.
Okay. So you don't believe that banning the transfer of individuals into ICE custody for the purpose of civil immigration enforcement encourages illegal immigration into Chicago? Or how about agencies, sorry, one second, or agents not being able to stop, arrest, or detain individuals based solely on their immigration status or administrative warrants?
So we comply with all laws, local, state, and federal.
To me, after this line of questioning, it's very clear that these policies that you have all implicated are active and alive and well in your cities, are in direct violation with U.S. Title 8, Code subsection 1324, and it is a federal offense.
Yep.
But you all speak about a broken immigration system, and yet here you guys are aiding and abetting in that entire process. I want to be very clear about something. Open border policies, which is something that you guys are talking about, hurts people on both sides, meaning the people that are coming here illegally and then American citizens as well. I do not think you guys are bad people, but I think that you are ideologically misled, which is why, unfortunately, based on your responses, I'm all going to be criminally referring you to the Department of Justice for investigation. And as soon as I leave here, these will be going over to Pam Bondi. I'm not doing that in an effort to bully you guys, but I do believe that your policies are hurting the American people, and you can make that known with the evidence that you can present to the Department of Justice. But if you guys continue doing what you're doing, you're not going to help anyone. You're going to hurt more people. And that's exactly why I'm tired of it. The American people are tired of it. And Chairman, I yield my time.
We are tired of it.
We are. We
We're
are.
the people.
Absolutely 100% sick to death of this, which is why President Trump won in the historic landslide victory that he did. And even Stephen Smith on CNN was like, here's a mandate. Here's a mandate.
He's got a mandate.
All right, guys. Again, I appreciate your time. Thank you, Sean,
You're welcome.
for doing this and cutting this down, because I didn't have 5 hours. I talked way too much during this, and I apologize for that. I get wound up, man. All right. We'll see you guys again real soon. God bless you. God bless Indiana, and God bless the United States of America. I hope you have a wonderful evening.